All right. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll, a Megillah. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying Megillah, a roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Now, if we do the math on this, that works out to be 34.3 feet long. There's 20.6 inches per cubit. And if you want to figure out the diameter, you can do the math, and it comes out to be about 5.5 feet in diameter. This flying Megillah. So Zechariah sees this flying roll, 34 feet long, 5.5 feet wide. Basically a single cylinder, as opposed to a scroll with two rolls rolled up together. A Megillah can also have various writing and markings on the sides of it, okay? All right, let's read on. Then said he unto me, This roll, or this Megillah, is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that swears shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it, this flying roll, shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of the house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Okay. So far we have this 34-foot-long flying Megillah that flies through the air and kills people by slamming into their houses and consuming even the stones thereof. And it leaves a residue. Okay, let's read on. Then the angel that talked with me went forth, and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what this is that goeth forth. You see, Zechariah would have known what a Megillah was. He read them all the time. This was obviously something new to him that looked sort of like a Megillah. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is an ephah that goeth forth. Okay, this Megillah is delivering a 40-liter container of some kind, an ephah. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. So there's more than just one of these. According to this is how they look throughout the entire earth. Okay? This is where it starts getting really, really interesting. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead. And this talent of lead that was lifted up is an Isha, not a woman, but a fire offering that sits in the midst of the ephah, the 40-liter container. So, in the original Hebrew here is an Isha, a fire offering, that is a round, heavy weight of metal, translated back in 1611 as lead, that sits in the midst of a 40-liter container. That's weird. Okay, let's read on a little more. And he said, This is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the ephah, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. Okay, now this is getting scary. Zechariah is detailing the detonation of the atomic trigger of a thermonuclear warhead. In the Hiroshima fission bomb, you had two subcritical masses of fissile material that were imploded into each other using conventional explosives, which triggered a nuclear reaction. Okay, a plutonium bullet was cast into the mouth thereof of a larger mass of U-235 using TNT to achieve critical mass. There's no Hebrew word for uranium-235. So the closest possible way Zechariah could have described this would have been as lead. Uranium actually turns into lead as it encounters radioactive decay. This fission device Zechariah described here itself is an atomic bomb, the likes of which is also available to be used as the atomic trigger for larger thermonuclear fusion bombs like the H-bomb. Also, nuclear warheads are typically encased in lead or beryllium to contain stray neutrons during detonation and also protect the handlers that come close to the weapon. But that's not all. It goes on even farther. I think it's verse 9 here. Then lifted I up mine eyes, And looked, and behold, there came out 2 Eshah fire offerings. And the wind was in their wings. For they had the wings like the wings of a stork. You ever see a stork flying? Kind of, they got that long, stretched out body. And they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. So we have these flying rolls or Megillas, which are carrying up into what we call the upper atmosphere, these 40-liter containers loaded with round weights of heavy metal, which are themselves wicked fire offerings, which are going to go and kill people and consume even the stones of their houses, and then leave this residue behind on top of it. If this is in fact what he saw 2,500 years ago, there is no possible way to say it more clearly in his Hebrew language. There's no way you can say that more clearly. He just described the entire mechanism of the whole device. So who is the one that's getting judged by these flying rolls, whatever they are? Then I said to the angel that talked with me, whither do these bear the ephah? And he said unto me, to build it a house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established, and set there upon her own base. All right. To build, that's to establish, to cause, to continue. It a house, that's actually in the Hebrew, if you look it up, that is kind of talking like it can be a house of Sheol, or a house of hell. And it can be established, or it shall be established. Set up, erect, set upright, like you would set a vase upright. And set, that's to lay down or deposit, actually. There upon her own base. Resting place, base. So basically what this is saying is this ephah, when it arrives to wherever it's going, its destination, it deposits the wicked fire offering there.